Good morning, and evening, and afternoon, and whatever. This is another scene in Living World of Darkness. Mage from the Ashes. This time it's not as much one scene, and it is probably several events. That's just being several mini events, like woven together into a collective whole. And I think we can start today in the chantry first. See, just so because Ava has been given some news that might be pertinent for her to share with her fellows.
Uh, yeah, Ava is in the uh, common room and is packing her bag, and it almost looks like she's packing for a vacation or something. There's all kinds of weird shit going into that bag. There are some like olive oil and things from like herbs from out of the kitchen to a bottle of wine to towels, uh, a bathrobe, a blanket, sleeping bag actually as well, a pair of extra shoes, extra clothing, makeup. There's literally going stuff in that would make you want to assume that maybe she's going out for like a week or something. But why the olive oil?
This is a very good question.
I really don't know either.
Yes. Uh,
So that's yeah, what Ava's doing.
that's what Ava's doing. What's Julie doing at this time when Ava's packing weird stuff in her bags?
She's just getting back from what seems to be training. Of like she's been out running or training in her own room or something, and she's just you know, she seems as though she's somewhat invigorated. And she comes in and she goes, "Hey, Eva. What's going on?"
Hi, Julie. Mind passing me that iPad? Yeah, thanks. I did you speak to Nausicaa lately?
No, not.
Okay.
I've been quite focused since we got home.
Fair enough. I mean, well, how am I going to explain this easily? Ava thinks about this for a while, then realizes this is Julie. If there's anyone who believes in extraterrestrial life, it's probably Julie. So she's like, so you ever thought about aliens?
Um, Back in the day, quite a bit. Yeah, why?
Well, we've got a couple of them in Nausicaa's apartment, and one of them is about to be born.
Julie just looks at you, sits down. I gave up that stuff, but you're wait, you're not talking. Oh shit. Okay, that's bad. Like,
Yeah.
do we
No,
think it's connected to anything, or is it like
I mean connected. Connected. That's a strong word that you can use in many ways. Um, it's I mean, we found it. It came from some sort of war where they also encountered humans, and it's very complicated. They have some sort of a hive mind. It's really interesting. And would you like to come? Sometimes the story is better seen than explained.
yeah, no thanks. No, 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 no.
What? Why not?
I know, like
I mean, well, I'm going there. Alpha, by the way, is definitely avoiding somewhat using her right hand or showing it to Julie.
Eh?
yeah, like you want to go see the aliens and get like a brain slug or like some sort of mind controlling thing on you? No, no.
I mean, it's definitely not mind controlling, and they don't go to your brain.
See, that's exactly someone who's getting controlled by an alien would say.
That's also what someone
Julie
who went.
actually looks a bit like standoffish, or just like just seems to be just looking you over. Just her eyes narrow a bit.
Julie, my mind is not being controlled by an alien.
Hmm. Okay,
And if they were a danger, you really think Nausicaa would allow them in her apartments?
maybe she's
I mean,
taking
if.
over as well.
Ow! I mean, I have to come across the first person who can convince Nausicaa's mind of anything. Although I did make her eat a banana and made her think it was a burrito. Mm. But that's different.
Okay, that sounds a little less alieny. That's good. That's good.
Well, anyway, I am going, and you're more than welcome to come along.
Just give
Uh,
me just 1 second. And Julie goes over and gets like a dishwashing cloth and like binds it around her mouth and around her nose. No face hugger's gonna get me. That's not gonna happen.
um, you're gonna travel like this to Manhattan?
Oh, it's not here. It's in her apartment at. Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay. She takes it off and puts it like in her pocket.
But Ava will hoist a backpack on her back, and off they go.
Off they go. Woo! Are we driving or taking the subway?
I don't have my own car, so
So,
subway.
yes, usually that would mean subway. But
Yeah.
because Julie has one, that was why I was asking.
Oh wait, yeah, that could be a thing. I don't know.
Hmm. Sure, Julie will drive.
Yay.
We're driving. Yay.
Dun, 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 and then Batmobile thing.
For at least the first month, maybe 2 months, that was Julie's main job. It wasn't any sort of magic. It was just being a driver.
That
Yeah.
that it's the eternal rule. Never be a guy or gal that drives in a game. That's important to remember that rule.
Well, she was kind of a fuck up in the beginning. Well, quite a bit of a fuck up. So she didn't really know how to do anything else because the
Huh?
whole magic thing was not really.
Yeah. So anyway, you stop you get to stop by in Manhattan and eventually you find parking. That takes quite a bit of time, but you do. And I mean you get to step inside and get up to the apartment. The apartment, which is a very nice posh apartment, but currently it has a big, almost like FEMA like tent in it, with like there what looks to be a very large, like white cocoon like squishy thing in the middle on the middle of the tent floor inside of the apartment,
Wow.
um, and
Holy
you
crap! You like this thing is enormous. Like
it's like the size of two adult humans laying on the
I figured
ground.
as much. Ava will, quickly glance
well,
at
when
her
the,
right arm and then looks back up. I didn't know it was that big either.
okay, we need to have like some sort of weapon because if it comes out and attacks us,
What? No?
And then, as you can speak, a 4 foot tall red lizard thing that Ava knows quite well at this point, with several sores on the back of its head and on its arms. One of these sores is spread all the way to its eye, steps out of the bathroom, drinking shampoo from a bottle.
Um, Julie, this is Didi.
As you can see, like Didi doesn't have any clothes on, so you can see like under the skin of Didi, there's several pulsating large worms underneath the skin that seem to be some of them seem to be growing as we speak. He turns and it removes the shampoo bottle from its mouth and it waves his arms. Hello.
Hey, Didi.
Um. Hi. Uh. Yeah. I think I just. I'm sorry. I'm just working through either an aneurysm or a psychosis.
Um,
I.
we're mages. This is not the weirdest thing that has happened to us, Julie. Come on.
It's up there.
I'll give you that. It's out there.
No, it's up the list. It is. It is.
It's not on top of the list.
It's up on the list. It's high on the list.
Mm,
It's high
Didi
on the list.
is just going to resume drinking shampoo.
You'll notice that Julie seems to just have her eyes locked on it. She stands ramrock stiff, and she's just nodding ever so slightly, and she just says, "It's up there."
Ava will grab from her backpack like a bottle of vodka. Offer it to Julie.
Yeah, no, thanks. I don't.
Okay.
No, no, I
Oh,
don't think
that's
it's
cool.
gonna be better if I know.
Anyways, the cocoon process has gone very well so far. Didi says, and is going to stubble its way. I say stubble because it has very stumpy, small legs. So I think stubble is cuter. It stubbles its way. That's not a real word, but whatever.
It's
Over to
really
the cocoon, and
grown.
it pats it, and a bit of like cocoon slime sticks to its hands as it does so.
It's grown quite a lot.
Well, I never got the food that's supposed to be for babies of the humankind delivered. So I had to pour
Oh,
like things I found in this dwelling into the cocoon pile. So I poured some of this. It shows the shampoo and what's something in the cold the I think it's called a refrigerator.
okay. Well, yeah.
I found refrigerator eggs, milk, and
That's
there was soy sauce. Those were the only thing I could reach. So I took those and I poured it into the pile.
okay.
So it should draw
I have
nutrients from
some
those.
stuff with me if you want,
Um,
or is it too late?
oh yes, this was one that was still earth. The earth has now been
Oh,
turned into cocoon flesh.
okay. Fair enough.
It looks to Julie. Well, this new human. I don't know your name. It flails at you and is like, um, the grub was put into earth, and then the grub grew consumed was given fluid from crushed worms. It points to one of the worms squirming underneath its arm skin. Uh, what you can slightly see the orangey sort of worm through one of the sores on its arm. Uh, we took out several of these worms, squished them into nutrient fluid, and poured it into the earth pile. And then I poured some of this and some of the things in the refrigerator for the human food portion. It nods very sagely to this.
Sure, that sounds super. That's perfect. Just have I don't know. Just my name is Julie. Just have. I'll just start from the top. What the fuck is going on here? What is in that thing? Where do you come from? And just in general, what? And a hearty, what the hell? And I need a little bit of leeway here because I'm not I'm not
Okay.
sure. Just
So, one day when Asuka and I were getting back from work. We saw something, heard something, and when we went looking, we found Didi. Um, on his side of things, there had been an enormous battle going on between several groups of people, amongst which his own. Uh, and then the silence came as she kind of looks at Didi for
It
confirmation.
nods. The silence
And
came, and with it, everything died, except
yeah,
me. I was emergently not transformed,
transported.
transported, yes, transported
Yes,
here, and then I
exactly.
was picked up in the city, and now my body is slowly dying due to atmosphere differences, and for some reason I've been genetically altered to be a breeder worm as well as a drone. So now I constantly make new worms that will make the new hive. It nods very
And
sagely.
once they formed a new hive, they can leave Earth again and go back to, well, exploring the universe.
Indeed.
Um. Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's give. Sure. So they're just gonna crash here for a while, and
Basically, yeah.
Well, either the worms are going to completely eat my body and form the new hive, or we have to make copies of my flesh so the worms can eat it.
Yeah.
Because I can't support 20 worms. So uh, I keep ripping them out, but they keep growing faster back. So in a week, I'm probably not going to be able to remove them quickly enough for them to not just grow out and eat me. So I will probably die in 6 days.
So we're trying to
seem
find a way to.
you seem somewhat cool with this.
It shrugs. Drones are not made to have opinions about such things, it's just a matter of fact. I also noticed that the atmosphere, the damages done to my body through Earth atmosphere is growing worse. It points to the sore going all the way down to the eye socket. Even sitting in the tent and getting the appropriate amount of methane that I need, it's not enough. It seems. It shrugs.
Hmm, okay, we might want to have Nausicaa take a look at it then. Maybe she can shift a little or change some things in the parameters or.
It shrugs again. Uh, have you found anyone that can copy flesh?
No, not yet.
Hmm.
Well, some of
We.
us may be able to, but I don't know. Like, um, that's fairly horrible. But you say that drones are not supposed to have opinions, yet you do have opinions. It seems.
Ah, yes, that's been true. That's because of the it points to the different worms in crawling under the skin. These are not drone worms, all of them. So they are in the hive, so they boost my mind more. It nods again.
Hmm. So what do you want us to do? Find food?
Food. Just I will give piece of my flesh, then you can copy that piece into more flesh, and we can take the worms out and put it in those flesh. Then they will grow into members of the hive, and some of them there will probably be a flesh builder there. The flesh builder will then build a ship, and the ship can then be flown out of the earth.
In the meanwhile, Ava's calling Nausicaa, by the way.
Okay.
Okay.
We're just for information, Robbie, we're in the Nausicaa apartment. Anyway, so what were you going to say, Julie? Sorry.
Awesome.
Julie's still like she hasn't moved yet. She's just looking at this. She's talked a little, but it's like she's somewhat paralyzed. She's just looking at this. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So you guys got this, right? Like I mean, it's fine and all, but I think I need to get going. And yeah,
As you speak, you suddenly see the white cocoon on the ground starting to shake, like jiggling. There's very light tremors going through it, but since it's a very soft, squishy kind of cocoon and not a hard one, it's a very apparent, it's like just small waves on the water. It's more like rings. It's like tossing a stone into a quiet pool. Just jig.
I'll
yeah,
be like,
like
oh,
the,
which is definitely something that Nausicaa can hear through the phone. It's moving. Look, Julie.
yeah, I see it.
Ah, yes. The grub there. It points to the cocoon. Was grown from. It points to Ava, but Ava arm.
For the
Ava
first
was
time,
trying to shush him down, like without Julie seeing it, but
Yeah,
you
but
know.
Julie just looks at Ava. I Ava, I need you to just be on the level with me because you're asking a lot right now.
Okay. We were trying to save Didi's life, and he said that if we would accept some worms in or a single worm in our body, that would give him some time. So I didn't really see where that will be a big problem. And yeah,
You hear some kind
and
of
she'll
muffled.
show her right arm, which is emaciated compared to the left one.
You hear some kind of muffled condemnation across the kind of from the phone at Ava saying that like kind of acting as if like this was a like decision we all made.
Nausicaa, come on. You have to come down here. Also, Didi's armor is it's not really working that well, so can you have a look at that? But I think the cocoon is about ready. And Dava sounds way more excited than Nausicaa probably thinks she should be.
Or
Or
Julie
Julie.
seems to be about everything about this. She hasn't moved. The only thing that's moved so far is her head when she began to look at you. Else her body is more or less frozen in place. She's just looking at this.
Nausicaa, she's not gonna teleport. She'll probably take around half an hour to get here.
Yes. Uh, it's going to take around half an hour to get there. And the very nice thing about that is that these things does not take. It doesn't happen quickly, so you get to see you all get at least for a while. You can continue to converse. You're going to see that cocoon just jiggling more and more and more.
At some point, Julie will leave the room, as she is she just excuses herself at some point and finds the place of the apartment that is the furthest away from all of this bizarre shit. And she's just gonna be there for a good while.
Yep. So now you can just what does Ava do in the meantime?
I mean, she's probably staying very close to the cocoon.
Is she touching it?
Probably. If that, like, she would probably ask Didi, like, is that a thing? Should I not do that, or
Oh,
can I?
H shrugs. So yeah, you can touch the cocoon. It's slimy and it
Mhm.
jiggles under, and you can feel like the thrashing of limbs underneath. Just
This is extremely exciting to her.
yes.
She's not
Julie,
anxious
Julie
whatsoever.
is just trying her best to calm her mind. She's meditating or trying to.
Everybody's favorite little antisocial Baldy turns up. The door will open and Nausicaa will walk in.
Speaking of the baldy thing, Diri will actually point at Ava's head and be like, "Why do you not have the hairs?" Like it points to Ava, and the other human also had lots of hair, but you have no hair. Why is this?
Nausicaa blinks. It's much more efficient like this. I don't have to waste as much time with it.
It nods, approving of this, and goes back to drinking shampoo. So this really big white cocoon is in the middle of the 10th floor in the room, in the apartment, and as you can see, it's jiggling like it's nobody's business.
Hey, Nausicaa.
Hello, Ava. Julie,
Um,
it is good to see you.
Oh, Julie is as she's just entered. She's trying her very best. She's not in the room. She's just standing where she can see Nausicaa and sees little of whatever the hell is going on. Hi, Nausicaa. I am so glad you're here. Um, so,
I'm glad to be here. Congratulations, by the way.
oh,
is
right.
our
Yes, of
what?
course.
You're a member of the Order of Akashic Brotherhood now.
You see, as though like what you're talking about does not like she doesn't register what you're saying. She's just looking at you. Huh? She
You are a
like her
member of
eyes
the.
just go over to the thing, goes over to you again, and she says, "What?"
Have been accepted into the Akashics, no?
Sure. Like
I wasn't making
her
a
right
proposal.
arm just begins to rise as she's pointing at the tent. It just looks at you.
Oh,
I don't. I'm. I got nothing. Like
I understand. I was also similarly shocked.
Right. Shocked. Okay. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So. Yeah. So. Well, we've seen ghosts. We've seen God only knows what else. I suppose aliens is the next logical thing. But it's talking with us.
It is. Me and Ava have agreed to help it find its way off planet.
Right. Which is a good thing to help the shampoo drinking alien.
I think so.
Right. That is that makes sense. That's totally not. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. What were you saying before, Abba? Or Nasser?
You've been accepted into the Akashics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Julie, have you relapsed? You seem to be having a difficulty processing things today.
Uh. Well. Yeah, but it's nothing to do with drug use. I'm still, I've heard about like a couple of people getting psychosis sometime after their use of certain substances, but given our situation and that's probably not the case. So, yeah, I'm just having a little bit of a hard time. We've seen illusions before, and I'm having a hard time accepting that there's an alien standing in your apartment, growing a fucking cocoon or something, and wants our help to get off. I'm just thinking that someone fucking with us and making an illusion would be a better explanation. But hey, I've been wrong before.
The idiot is going to walk over to Julie, who looks very agitated, obviously, and is going to offer the shampoo bottle.
No thanks, I'm good.
It's going to shrug and it's going to continue to drink the shampoo.
Humans put that in their hair.
Why? This is excellent.
Well, not for us. Our physiology doesn't allow for us to drink that.
It gives you another one of those, oh honey, kind of like I'm so sad for you looks. Like when you told her you didn't have hide minds.
Yeah.
It's going to see, like, by the way, does Nausicaa have her wand on her belt or any noticeable places?
No, she essentially carries it in like her breast pocket.
Okay, so yeah, because just that, never mind. Not going to be anything about that. And at this point, the cocoon is going to stop jiggling, and then it's going to explode.
Oh boy.
Several bits of cocoon are just like, first you're going to see just a hand just punching through it, through the surface, and then like the cocoon is just going to very quickly fall apart and just send bits of slimy cocoon everywhere. It's up to you if you got hit or not. It doesn't have any kind of mechanical thing.
I
so
mean, Ava standing next to it,
think
so she's covered.
yeah.
Julie is,
Oh yeah, she's covered in cocoon.
yeah, Julie's just gonna jump to the side, cover herself from exploding this cocoon, and she just says, "Okay, guys, you're on your own. I'm out. Like, it's totally fine, but you got this. I got like, you're on your own. Like,
As Julie says this, a completely, of course, obviously naked, pink-haired and pink, halfway red, and a bit of little turquoise in the tip, on the on the top of the head. Human is going to rise up. It's very long-haired. Just gonna cast hair around and opens his eyes, one blue and one red, and just gonna look around at everyone. It's physically adult, a young adult, but adult at this point.
I've seen enough body horror movies. I'm fucking out. Like, if you get in trouble, run and call me. Okay?
We could use your help on this.
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. Like, I'm like, this is like, no. I no. You mean, like, you can tell you don't need. Actually, you don't need any insight or anything. Julie is just at her wit's end. She's like, she's stuck or stunned. She's has no idea what to do. She's like,
We could use the Akashic Order's input on this.
oh, you know what? I will go and find out what their input on this is. Is that a deal? I think that's a deal.
You are the Akashic representative in the city?
Yeah, but I'm still trainee, so I need to get more info, and I should go get that right now.
No.
No. Okay.
We could really lose your help, Julie.
I just need a little bit of time to get this processed, and then I'm gonna help out. Okay?
And stay here because this is the fastest way for you to process it.
The human, quote unquote, that stands on the floor seems slightly consternated for a second. Just blinks again. By the way, for for all records, it seems to be male, as we all know. Uh, it's going to glance around, and then it's going to speak. But the thing it says sounds more like it's like chanting like some kind of like horror Cthulhu horror language. It seems completely friendly and normal as it tries to speak, but it's like that kind of stuff.
Well, Nausicaa's going to go over to it and look at Dee Dee. Do you have any clothes for it to wear?
It seems it shakes his head. I mean, it's human size, so
Oh, I got it covered. Ava will grab her backpack and will unpack like herbs, olive oil, that toaster machine, a bottle of vodka, a photo camera, a couple of books, of course, because Ava, a sleeping bag. But we'll finally also get out sets of clothes. They're feminine clothes because they're her own, but she's just kind of judging him. And, like, I mean, Ava is tall and,
yeah, it's about
like,
your yeah, it's about your
thin.
height.
So
You
I
should the
figured.
clothes. Yeah, the clothes will fit.
Yeah.
It's going
So
to
she'll
take a
piss
bit.
out a pair of jeans and a shirt, and we'll actually kind of start helping him.
Yeah, because he's going
If
to need the help putting on the clothes.
Oh
He's
yeah,
very confused as to what you want, but it's not going to struggle. DD, however, seems that it speaks the hive language. This makes things easier. I wasn't sure if it would. It
The hive language.
Yes, it then starts speaking in the similar kind of chanty thing. Um, Previously, it's not for drones to use mostly, so we use more like the international language between the trade language. It's one that you heard me speak before through the translator, which this language is for the hive species. It's going to go rush into the room, into the living room to grab its belt, the belt it had with the translating ding dong on it. It's going to rush by. This might help. It's going to go up and try and just the belt is too small, but eventually it's going to try and put the belt on it, get it on. So this might help in knots. In the meantime, the newborn has been clothed. It's not disturbingly naked anymore.
yeah, Ava's just staying very close to the newborn. She's not quite sure what to do with it or how to act with it, but just kind of want to be close.
It doesn't talk again. It just plumps down onto just sits down on the floor. And then in the background, you can see Didi is taking bits of the cocoon bits off of Ava and eating it, and just giving Nausicaa a sort of "you saw nothing" kind of look. Because Ava's obviously distracted; she doesn't necessarily notice. But it's like you saw nothing, Nausicaa. It's the message it's sending with its eyes as it eats cocoon covering.
So, Dee Dee, is that fully grown?
Yeah, should be. Hive life cycle is not long, or it's not long to begin. It's very quick, and then depending on the type, lives long or short. Hybrids are unpredictable, but should be either a battle wizard or a hive controller. I think. It shrugs. Hard to say since hybrid. I can't judge what type of worm it is. So it should live long, but it's fully grown. It then good. Am I still connected, by the way, or is it?
You are, yeah.
Yeah, you are.
It's disbelief that makes us silent.
Yes.
No, I mean, Ava's mostly paying attention to the baby thing.
Yes.
Not baby. Full newborn, grown up creature, humanoid
Indeed.
thing. Just to give it a name.
And also, he's just looking at it like, I think a little bit like Julie. She's like, this is way above my pay grade. And she's gonna turn to Dee Dee. I was told that your suit was malfunctioning.
Well, when I say I was referring to the. It seems that my body is dying even with the methane tent area. It seems that my body is not acclimatized to Earth conditions, so my body is slowly ripped apart. It points to a sore just getting to the eye socket. Just developed spreading. It's growing. You know.
Could we make the tent more secure? Or are the chemical imbalances off
I'm
kilter?
atmospheric worker, so I would normally know, but I do not know why my body doesn't seem to handle Earth conditions. We've gotten the gases inside of the tent when I use it to be just what it should be, but it doesn't seem to hold. It only slows the process down.
Strange.
You can start seeing some of the worms like that was squirming underneath the skin. You can start seeing some of them on its arms through the sores developing there, which is disturbing.
Yeah, it is.
And the worms have started growing faster. So whenever I replace them, they seem to grow faster back.
Fascinating.
It shrugs again. It's then going to go and fiddle with the belt. Anyway, I think the translation device should be functional enough. Newborn, in the meantime, is very busy examining its hands, and then it flicks its hands towards one of the nearby chairs and just sends it flying.
Whoa, boy. That will kind of, lower his hand. Like, don't do that. Oh, wait,
It
this is
cans
going to
its
be
hands.
problematic.
Yes,
Cans its
please
hands.
do not do that.
Cans its hands very.
I'll try and see if I can get a link with him.
Well, by all means.
Yeah, we'll, get the two candles going. And she kind of stops. Doesn't have a name yet. I just start writing in tiny letters on the candle, like a description of the newborn, like describing his hair, the colors, the eyes, the colors, that sort of stuff to get the approximation of this individual.
That's fine. You can feel free to roll when you have done this.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yes. Wait a second. I was just trying to see if get to the right one. Did you get? You got only one success, I think.
I got 2 rolls there already.
Oh, 2 rolls. Yeah, so 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that should be. That's more than sufficient to establish a link.
Okay. Now
And
the biggest question is, does that link also translate?
yes, that's because
Good.
mind links are universal. They don't go in
Yay.
language. That's a fun little factoid. What you will experience is a mind that is spontaneously underdeveloped and overdeveloped at the same time.
What?
It's very weird. It seems to be examining everything, and you can feel that it has it's aware of forces that it has naturally underneath its command. Like it, as you saw, it sent the chair flying away, just pushing it. And it seems to be thinking in it seems to have very arcane thoughts, just thinking about the different powers of the universe and also coming to the grips with it also seems to have some kind of dread because it feels very alone because it doesn't have a link. When you link with it, suddenly it's almost like a mind. You can just see like the eyes of the newborn shift to you, as well as like its mind's eye. And then you get bombarded with thoughts, mostly in why no hive, where are others? and just get bombarded with thoughts. It is a very, very numbing experience because you can
Yeah.
feel the desperation and the pain in that. It's
Okay. Do you want me to make a check or something in order to
if you can have a willpower. I mean, since
Okay.
if you feel a close emotional connection to this thing, you could roll willpower,
I
and
mean, would she?
it's that depends. Does mother's instinct trigger or not? That's up to you.
No. Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah,
But there's two nines at least. There's a seven
yeah,
and six as well. But
yeah. You're perfectly able to withstand this. You get Noska, since you don't like having minds in your own. You can Noska can get to see the 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 red-haired human thing just stumble onto its like on its hands, like crawling slightly towards Ava and just staring at her, being like seems to be very panicked.
Ava will, stretch out her arms and just, give that sensation through the mind link, like warmth and yeah, hugs basically.
So
Um,
you give a mind hug.
yeah, but she'll like do it physically as well if he's so close,
Yes.
and will then start to explain that there will be a hive mind soon.
Uh,
Um,
uh, okay. You just say what we're going to say. Sorry.
yeah, basically just that, just give like some sort of an explanation of that things will be there soon, and that just need to be brave. She's not gonna tell that, yeah, no, everybody died.
Uh,
Like, no.
Didi, in the meantime, is standing with Noska as the audience and whisper, just like conspiratorially leans over and whispers, and it's like it's sad with hybrids. They can never be part of the hive, and some of them can't handle that. Others others begin hate the hive and tries to eat it. It has happened in knots.
Another reason why I don't think it should have happened in the first place.
It will just slow down the growth of Warren back here. It points to the back of its neck, whereas now the neck is basically just one big open sore at this point. Thankfully, there's no pus or anything like that, so it's not that gross. Uh, which, uh, anyway, it's like it shrugs, and the creature seems to calm down and just looks around, and you can there is a sort of weird build-up in its mind that seems very familiar to you, Ava. You can't exactly put your finger on it, but it seems to be like the mind is like grasping for straws almost, and it seems to be like a conclusion it's trying to reach or something. It's very weird in there.
Hmm. I will just, keep offering those comfortable feelings, and just starts to explain like things like this is Didi, and then Nausicaa. This is like it just slowly starts to explain more and more of the world that they see immediately.
Okay, it's going to seem to just be in more of an in absorption phase, just absorbing information. Just now, it's just staring at Nausicaa at this point. Just it seems to just ignore Dida's existence completely.
Can I make a peony or something on the newborn?
Yeah, by all means. I mean, you are in its mind. You feel what it
Yeah,
feels.
okay, fair enough. Like okay, I want to know if he's like really staring at her, because ultimately she did kind of murder all his brothers and sisters, which
Oh,
he did feel.
Damn straight.
So is it
it
like,
seems there seems to be some kind of vague memories about Oscar, which is why it's so fascinated and staring at her. But it doesn't seem to exactly know why. But it's yes, there's something weird back there.
okay, well, as long as it doesn't really know why, Alpha will not push.
Alva, this is a very strange situation. I'm going to concentrate on attempting to fix Dee Dee's suit.
Oh, um, yeah, okay.
Please just remember one thing.
Um, that is?
That is a parasitic alien creature.
It's a child. Well, No, it's not necessarily a child, but it just
I'm
needs
not
to be
saying that to
thought.
be cruel to it. I just don't think you should get overly attached.
I'm not overly attached.
Nausicaa just doesn't change her expression except for raising one eyebrow in a kind of questioning manner.
Ava turns red. I'm not.
Good.
She totally is, but yeah, you know.
Okay, Nautica's going to look at Dee Dee's suit. Is there any way she could like potentially fix it?
Well, I mean, beyond stitching it up, like the suit seems, but like I mean, it was, it wasn't meant to be completely covering in the first place, but there was a bit of tinkering that helped do that. Uh, but no, it seems mostly fine. Like I mean, you would have to do much more of a closer examination with like equipment and stuff to see if there's any like micro tears that you can't see with your eyes or anything. But beyond that, it seems it should really be able to contain them and keep the atmosphere stable.
While she's doing it, she's going to say to Dee Dee, "The hybrid. You said it doesn't link with the rest of the hive.
No.
What is the likely situation? Will it want to leave with you?"
No, the thing is that hybrids are, while they're off the hive to begin with, because of the way they're born, they become essentially, they when they're in the host, they absorb a bit of the mind, body, and spirit of whatever it's in to copy it, and then copies a approximation of the creature's mind, body, spirit in odds. So it will become essentially human, except for slight physiological differences. That's contingent on what kind of worm it is.
You still not should not have done this. It's a strange creature. It won't belong here, but it won't belong among you either.
It was a means to an end to keep the to slow down the worm growth a bit, and
And you've created a much bigger problem for us.
well, it was not me who suggested it; it was she who volunteered. But we'll point out that the hybrid creature will become human in all its essences of the word. It's like I could already feel that when it was just a grub. I could feel the mind wasn't a human mind. It wasn't a hive mind. I mean, it was like a human mind, strange and slightly weirdly aggressive and docile at the same time. And full of fear. Humans are full of fear, it seems. It shrugs.
We are. It's what helps us survive.
Was that take that like this because his race is currently at the edge of extinction?
Uh,
I'm asking that.
Not particularly, but maybe slightly.
Beyond that, it looks to the hybrid. It's going to try and sit down and speak in the hive language to it again, just going at it. The creature like looks over to it, just makes a few sentences back, and then sneers. Which, thankfully, since you have a mind lake, I'll get to understand. That's like you're but a drone, so you're not important enough lead chain in the hive for me to bother with.
Ava will sort of motherly scold him, like, hey, that's not a nice thing to say.
Didi, however, seems completely fine with this, and he just gets up. And it just turns to Nausicaa and is like, it doesn't seem willing to communicate with me as I'm a drone, and it's a hired worm. Therefore, drones were usually just directed through intermediaries in the mind.
That is very ungrateful of it.
That's what Ava is explaining to the newborn now.
It's not so it's going to get very confused because it apparently bred him, but it's not a breeder worm. So that's going to take a bit of of mental explaining. Anyway, itch frogs. It's just a hive way. Different worms worms interact along similar lines. Drone worms were lowest line because they did maintenance and lesser physical work.
But you're not just of the hive.
Well, that's not. That was both it and the explaining to the different
Hmm.
humans the same thing.
Oh
Just to
yeah,
be
but
clear.
like
Yeah,
Ava is responding this to
yeah,
him, like you're
yeah.
not just of the hive. So you will need to understand how we work as well. And we show compassion. We're compassionate creatures. We care for each other. We
Don't
listen to
lie
each
to it, at
other.
least.
I'm not lying.
The human race is not defined by its compassion.
Hmm.
It is indeed so. I have seen compassionate humans, but also genocide humans, and I've also seen weird humans that run away and hide in a room for some reason. Is what Didi says to this. It just nods sagely in agreement with Nausicaa.
But Nausicaa, do you want him to represent the best of humanity or the worst of humanity?
It's irrelevant. It's not a human, and it can't stay here.
Still, we can give him human values with.
Oh, we can't take the hybrid on the hive ship. Is what uh, Didi says to this.
Why?
It's not the way. Hybrids are not, since they cannot be off the hive. We will not subject them to the cruelty of bringing them something, then having them close to what they can ever be. So we just leave them where with the species they stem from. Like I put. It's going to stop then, and it's going to just anyway. So that's why it's that way.
It does not belong here, though. It's not human. It
You
just
could.
looks like it.
But, you can both roll perception empathy, by the way, if you will.
Oh, I picked up on the stopping there, but I will roll.
Yeah, I know, but it's just to be.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I'm not quite sure if Ava would pick up though.
Yeah, that's why I was asking for a roll in case that
Hmm.
could lead to things.
No, I figured. I fucking botch.
Bodge. I have 2 successes there.
Well,
So Ava
obviously,
is very engrossed with the newborn and
yeah,
just
yeah. Not didn't notice shit. Didn't even. She
nope.
barely even noticed the part about like that it cannot leave on the ship with the rest of the hive. That's the only
No.
part you noticed. Beyond that, she didn't care. Nausicaa, however, will be aware that it said I put and then stopped,
GD.
which yes.
You put what?
Oh, I put out another worm. It says and points to one near its neck, like on the other side of its neck, near its throat, was constricting around my veins, making it hard to breathe. So it kept growing over it. So I dragged one out, but it kept growing out. So I had to put it somewhere.
Where did you put it?
It's one of those. It does flap like wing motions. I put it in a box.
Ah! Sorry, that was out of character.
So it's going to lead you into the apartment, and you're going to see a very, very burnt pigeon that seems to be alive still. Which, it's since it's a pigeon, it's mostly worm through the skin.
Nausicaa turns very slowly to DD. This was not the agreement, DD.
Well, never made a disagreement about it, but I couldn't. I kept almost suffocating.
Then you should have stomped on it like you did the others.
Yes, I do, but they keep growing back. Which is why I put one was back in the neck in the Nazca and the other one there. So when
So
it's
we are going to have a hive pigeon hybrid now.
well, you can just kill it before it's born. It was just to be a means to an end.
Has Ava seen this?
No. Did it yesterday.
Oh no. Damn it, Rob. We don't.
Well, I mean,
Oh God! Come on.
Oh, that's great.
Nausicaa is doing what Robbie is doing, and she is just rubbing her eyes and pinching the bridge of her nose.
the newborn is going to crawl after the duo because it was staring at Nausicaa, and it just follows Nausicaa around.
It's following Nausicaa around?
Yes, because it's very fascinating staring at Nausicaa for some reason.
If it follows me around, she's going to turn to it and say, "Go away."
It's just going to stare more. Its red and blue eyes just focus on her very intently.
I think we need to give him a name.
It.
No. I'm not gonna call it it.
No, it's not a he, it's an it.
It's a he. He's a he. I mean, God damn it, Nausicaa. I know.
It might look like a he, but
What?
it's not a he.
Why don't we call him Icarus?
No. Why don't we call it hybrid?
No.
Harry the hybrid.
No, we're not gonna call him Harry.
We could call it Abomination Against Nature and Humankind.
That's a bit
Nausicaa,
long.
You're
what Baby says.
being very, very, very mean right now. You're cruel. Don't do this. Please.
You're right. Cruelty in this situation is not practical. Then I will lay out the facts to you, Ava. Didi has said this creature cannot leave with them. What are we
So?
going to do about it?
Well, we can keep him in the Chancery, teach him. He obviously knows magic. He can stay with us. That's fine, I can take care of him.
Don't you have an apprentice already?
I mean, that's different.
I agree that's different. It's more normal.
Look, I don't have. I can help him as well.
And what do we do with him?
Well, like I said, we can train him to use his magic responsibly, like the rest of us. It could be part of our cabal.
I would argue the rest of us do not use our magic responsibly.
Yeah, he
However,
would be even better than we are.
I think you are getting overly attached to it.
I'm not overly attached to him.
You are. You're a liar.
I think we should call him Simon. It's simple. It's effective. Yeah. And
So
she'll just turn away from this conversation and goes to the hybrid and starts introducing him to his name. It's like, this is how you will know that you're being addressed. Is we call you Simon. I am
designation.
Ava Simon.
It's going to be. It's going to say Ava. Thankfully, since its mind link is helping with pronunciation. That's something. And
Mm,
it's going to be like Simon.
yes.
Eric, out of character, is very amused by this because one of the most famous mages in biblical canon is Simon Magus, who.
Oops.
So that's
I didn't know this. I apologize.
that's funny because um, you're then going to experience something very weird in its mind, something very, very, very weird, but very familiar to you. It's going to, as it's like seems to just consider everything. It's suddenly just going to realize it can do just so much more than just push chairs around. It's more than hive and more than human. It can do anything maybe, and and it's,
She's gonna very quickly try to be like, no, no, no,
and
no. We need to consider everything around us.
then so
Like, very hard to implement this.
and then suddenly it's almost like it's like breaking up a dam because it was almost like it was the right just like the finishing notes of a song, and then suddenly it's just yeah you can all feel you don't need to roll for this, you just feel like this is something you've seen before, and by that I mean you've seen Awakenings before.
Oh yeah. I'm still in his mind link, right?
Yes, you are.
Oh crap.
So that's very trippy.
Yeah.
uh, what's the reactions to this?
Holding on for dear life.
Nausicaa looks, yeah, pretty like when she realizes that this thing is awakening.
Yep.
It has a name. He has a name.
Doesn't
He does.
it?
His name is Simon.
It.
He.
So yeah, Nausicaa's just gonna look at Ava.
Ava
This
definitely will need a moment to kind of get her mind in the right order again, because that was wonky.
Yeah,
this
it's
thing is
very
your responsibility if you want to keep it.
What else you want to do? Set him free?
No,
Exactly.
there
So
are
we will
other
keep him.
options.
it's going to start levitating from the ground. It's in the middle of the
Grabs
roof.
legs, pulls him down. Listen. She'll say in his mind, you can do anything. Like us. As she points at Nausicaa and herself. We're the same. Somewhat. Everybody outside does not know what we can do. And they should not know that we can do this. They should not know that you can do this. So don't do anything where people can see it, or do something that people can hear or can feel.
Uh, out of character, I do want to point out that this this kind of events are slightly noticeable to potential outside
Mm.
parties.
Oh God,
Oh God.
Nausicaa's gonna. Nausicaa just
Oh
says,
God.
Ava, if that was an awakening, the Union could be here. They can sense these things.
Oh
This place
fuck.
isn't protected. This place is under my alternate identity. We need to move
How
him.
many people can you get out of here?
What do you mean? How many people can I get out?
Points at Didi. Do you have a car?
No.
Fuck. How fast can you get a car?
Fast.
Get one.
Norca's going to call up like a prestige limo or taxi service like Uber Plus Plus or something.
Yeah. The great thing about having money is that these things are available. Do you want to pay extra to get it as quickly as possible?
I will play as much as it needs. I've spent 20,000 of my 50,000 allotment this month, so why not? However much it costs.
Okay, it's just technically it's just a few. It's just a few $100 extra. It's not that expensive, so, but it's a luxury.
While she's doing that, can I don't know, send out like a mind probe to like pick up on technocratic signals in the area that might be closing in?
You can see if there's any mines that would seem slightly like that. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you can sense mine. You can roll away for that. You have
Okay.
the correspondence, mind you, so that you can get the
Yes,
spread all
I
over
do
the
have
area.
correspondence too.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
Okay. Do I need higher difficulty if I want to keep the mind link with Simon? Because
Well,
now I've given him a name.
Simon, you have it's 1+ difficulty for every ongoing effect you have. I don't.
Okay.
I'm trying to
No,
ask.
it's for every 2 ongoing.
Every 2. Yeah, I wasn't
okay.
sure because this is house ruled, so that's why I'm not sure about it. Yeah. Okay, so then no higher difficulties required. You just have to roll away.
Okay. That's 1 success. That is no successes. That is another 1 success. So 2.
Yeah, you're ritualing this.
4. I think I'm gonna stick with that. Is that possible, or do I need to get 5?
No, this is more than enough.
Okay.
So you have a general awareness of different mines in the building and around it.
Yeah.
Only seems to be other mundane mines for now.
Okay.
I'll tell you one thing I can do. So I'm pretty sure in New York you can hire helicopters.
Yes, you could have said that that's the option instead. This is one of those buildings that have helicopter pads attached to it, I believe.
Yeah, it's like. I mean, I don't actually know for sure. I can look it up.
Yeah, but I can be based on what you've told me about this apartment complex, and it's like not only rich people but like celebrities and other like people who can't necessarily be in public life can have apartments here. I would say it's very reasonable for you to say that you can get a helicopter there. That's going to cost quite. I'm going to have to look up helicopter prices for this, but just
it's. I think I remember I looked it up before. It's not actually as expensive as you think. I mean, it's like hundreds of dollars, but it's not thousands of dollars. Which
but that's what I would just want the exact amount for later. We can look that up later. But anyway, it's more than enough for within your allotment.
I'm looking at the top of Madison 1. Can't really tell.
Yeah, but let's say it is. Just I'm hand waving that to be there since it fits with the area and it's not something too overly convenient. For you, it's like helicopter pad.
I think they have to for like emergency services or something. But yeah. Anyway, Nausicaa will be like, I've ordered a chopper on the roof. We should go up there now. Hopefully, they won't be able to locate it directly to my pad.
Okay. So far, I don't detect anything unusual yet.
Well, it was only a few moments ago, but they may be on their way.
Yeah.
It's going to take a few minutes for it to come there. So anyway, are you all just going to rush out of the apartment?
I mean, how obvious is it that there was an alien life form in this apartment?
There's nothing really saying it's an alien life form in this apartment beyond DD has been very busy eating up the scraps of slime. So there's not really anything like overly detectable. And there's probably like some DNA evidence or something laying about.
Yeah,
it's not something you can. Yeah, but you can't like remove it. And of course, there's also the box with the pigeon.
I don't know about that one.
Well, you did actually because you followed the newborn.
Yeah, okay, but other than a box with a pigeon, I don't know what it's about.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
So I will just get the pigeon. It's like, okay, why did you have a pigeon in a box?
Uh,
Do
I,
we take it with us?
I put a worm in it.
God,
What? Oh, okay. Well, we have to take it with us then. Check. Oh boy, is that one also capable of doing magic?
I didn't hear the question.
Is that one also capable of using magic?
Hmm. Battle wizards, and hive controllers are rare. Uh,
Okay.
I have no idea what kind of worm is in that one. It was just constricting my throat a lot, so I removed it.
We'll check that later. I don't think I've ever had a magical pigeon before. That might be a thing. Okay.
we're going
Yep. Do you think
up
Yeah.
to the roof.
Yeah.
Nausicaa's gonna try and quickly, like within 30 seconds, just remove. She doesn't actually come here very often. She's gonna try and remove anything of importance or kind of like personal items. I mean, she very much feels like if the technocracy find this room, then her kind of
Yeah.
cover's blown.
Yeah.
But
And Ava will quickly actually, because she brought a sleeping bag.
Yes.
So she's just gonna put Didi in the sleeping bag and sort of like,
Lift.
cover him up as much as she can, like they did when they were in the car and everything. And we'll try if she has time to grab as many bottles of shampoo as they're still in the apartments. That
Very, very considerate of her. Simon is just going to be very oddly staring at all of this as you guys run around.
yeah, Ava's trying to explain but he'll also notice probably that she has that probe out. So I think he can figure out from Ava's mind what's going on. She's not necessarily hiding her thoughts at this point
Yeah.
from him.
Yes. It seems to understand the concept of you being hunted by something.
Mm-hmm. Nausicaa, would it be capable of? Do you think we have time to put false evidence in one of the rooms, one of the other apartments in this building block?
She
So
considers
that they won't come
momentarily.
here.
The guy who came before said he tracked it via pheromones, correct? Maybe if we simply make this whole building tracked with covered in these pheromones, then
Do you
then
know
it
how to
might
do that?
potentially. If we get D-Day's DNA evidence into the air conditioning system or the garbage chute, if we release it if we put some kind of alien particles in the elevator and then it opens at every single floor, it will certainly spread them out further. They may not be able to pinpoint it to my apartment.
Okay, that's worth an attempt. Can you do that?
I can try.
Okay,
You guys go up to the roof and wait. I'll come meet you.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Dee, can you give me?
He's currently in the sleeping bag.
Opens the sleeping bag, peers in. Dee, can I have some part of your body?
It's going to rip out. You're going to hear a bit of a tearing sound, and then some pieces of flesh and a worm is handed out to you.
Nausicaa nearly makes like a kind of makes like a gipping, like almost throwing up thing. This should be enough.
Not the worm.
Fine, not the worm. And she'll take the worm and put it back in the sleeping bag. Go.
Because if they get evidence of the worm and they can recreate it, you might
I
have
agree.
a whole hybrid army,
I
but
agree.
then led by the technocrats.
I agree.
Good.
More hybrids is a bad thing. I agree.
I mean, that's this discussion we'll have later, but more technocratic hybrids I agree with.
Go to the helicopter. I'll meet you up there.
Yes, boss.
If I do not come, do not wait for me. As soon as it's ready to go, you go.
Ooh.
I can get out. Remember that.
Look, I might do something of my own, okay? Don't worry. But I'll get them up first.
Look after yourself first. Go in the helicopter. I can escape easily.
I know, but I have an idea. Now, the longer we're arguing here, the less time we have.
Fine.
Do I sense anything yet?
Nothing yet.
Okay, check. Yeah, Ava is first gonna ask Simon to help and get Didi up on the roof.
Yep. Simon is pretty strong actually, so he can actually carry Didi in the sleeping bag.
Nice. That's even better.
And then how do you transport yourself up to the roof? You take the elevator, or
How many floors are we away from the roof?
Or the 17th floor Madison 1 has... I'm not sure. Like, I think like 30 or 30 floors, something like that. 40, actually.
Oh yes, we're gonna take the elevator.
Yeah.
okay, that's fine. So you take the elevator up. As you get up to it takes a bit of time to navigate yourself up to the roof. Once you get up to the roof, you can see a helicopter is being flown towards the helipad there. What is Nausicaa doing in the meantime?
Nausicaa is going to basically go through. You know, they have like the garbage chutes that go like down. She's going to basically go like the elevator, press every single button in it, and go down. Essentially, the elevator like putting. Basically, like literally, like rubbing it on the wall and shit, like with flesh, and like just like spreading this thing's potential traces or pheromones around, like on other people's doors, like things like that. Like, yeah, she's basically gonna like try and spread it around as much as possible. She'll actually, if she's able to, she'll actually also put a bit into like the air conditioning duct, so hopefully it will be like spread around like the air conditioning system.
Mm-hmm.
She's not sure the technocrats are even going to track this thing via pheromones, or if they're just going to come like they just felt the kind of like awakening. She has no idea, but she's hoping they won't be able to precisely find it. She knows that they've not like just honed in on it. They've still had to like search manually.
Yep.
But yeah, the only other thing she can really think of is doing some kind of like powerful magical effect, but she's not really sure. She might try and create like some kind of vulgar anomaly somewhere else in the building to take their distraction. So in fact, yeah, she's going to go basically down to like the car park basement.
Yeah.
ID stealer.
Pardon?
That was what Ava was going to try and do.
Well,
okay.
We can both do it.
Oh.
And essentially, she's going to create. Is there like a private space down there, like kind of like a car park place where there is nobody or something?
Well, I mean, not many people are going to be in the car park area, you know.
So she's going to try and find like a private bit or like a stairwell. Like I imagine like the kind of rich people that live here. And she's going to begin marking on the wall, literally scratching with her wand. Essentially something that's going to create like a kind of gravitational anomaly, so that like this area for like a while will be like gravity will be kind of like fucked up in it, and something the technocrats might be able to pick up on.
So you're going to do cast vulgar forces tree magic is what you're doing.
Yes. So let me think.
What for? Okay.
Can it just be forces 2? I think.
Well, yeah, but you're limited in your ability to how much gravity you can mess with. But I mean,
it'll be like a small area, like a few meters by a few meters, which I think is forces 2.
Yeah, that's
so
important too.
It's literally going to be she's going to add entropy to it, so it'll be forces and entropy that like forces is like really chaotic here and like kind of unpredictable.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'll make it right. So a small ritual. So I can basically do up to 6 successes worth. So I'll add. Yeah. So I need one for scene, which is all probably I need, and then 5 on successes. It will be my enunciated sorry, my sympathetic formula. So it's my intelligence maths will be my practice roll. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Roll it.
The difficulty will be 6, I believe, for vulgar without witnesses.
Yes.
Okay. That is 2 successes, so it'll be diff 4. 1 success. The second roll. Diff 4 again. 3 successes altogether. Let's do 3. Okay, that's 6 successes, and that took me around.
I think it's a minute per roll when it's a brief, right?
I think it's 5 minutes. I think I can briefly check up, right? But it's not. Let's say, yeah. So it'll happen within 10-15 minutes, probably.
Yeah. So 10-15 minutes. And in the meantime, the helicopter will land on the top, and Ava and her 2 companions, one who is secret, can enter it. Do you wait for Nausicaa, or do you just go?
Ava will put the 2 of them in. We'll tell Simon, stay here until I get back. Don't move, okay? Promise me.
The helicopter.
Promise means that you're gonna keep doing what you said you would do.
It's going to give the mental equivalent of a nod.
Okay. And she'll tell the pilot to just wait, because yeah, she's just gonna try a thing of her own. Although she will be ready to break it off in case necessary, and eat that paradox if need be.
I am now on 9. No, I'm just saying I'm on 9 paradox now.
I'm not quite sure if I can do this though, but it's like what I want to do is I want to create an illusion of what they might expect has happened here in a room.
But then you kind of have to go down into the room to do it.
Oh yeah, but she has to go back.
And also it's contingent that you don't necessarily know what they're expecting. Are you going to put a mind illusion?
I want their minds to fill in what's It's sort of like, here happens awakening, and they will fill in for themselves, which will mean that they will all get a different idea of what has happened here, because someone will think that an older gentleman might have awakened and set a room on fire, and the other one might think that it was a young girl and there was a big party here or something. But
yeah, okay, great. That you're going to sort of enchant the room, so to speak.
Yeah, based on their expectation, basically.
Yes, okay. I can say that will require a bit of a sphere combination. It's not just mine, but okay. You have those required spheres, so you just roll away for this. You're going to need a few successes.
Okay. She will go like to top floor, basically.
Well, you have to go back down into the room to do this, because you can't.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a mind tree illusion, which you can't go through correspondence. So if you want to do this, it will require the risk of going back downstairs into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, going into Nausicaa's room?
I'm not going into Nausicaa's room. That's sort of the thing. So I need to go to some sort of public space.
What do you just go to the?
I'm just going to go to a hallway or an elevator. I can stand in the elevator.
Yeah, okay. Just do it in the elevator then.
Yeah.
Roll away. It's going to be a similar brief, right? Because you can't.
That is 1. Another 1. Another 1.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's 5.
Yeah, that's enough. So that also took you 10 minutes of standing in the elevator.
Yeah.
Being weird, which I mean, since you've given Nausicaa time, that would probably be around the time when you finish, with when Nausicaa is pressing the elevator to take it back up. If you do that,
I love how the elevator would have gone up and down.
Yeah,
as Alva's kind of standing there.
Yeah, it would have.
Finally, when she is done, the doors say "bing," open up, and there's Nausicaa.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nausicaa just okay, yeah. So what? We're bumping into each other in the lift.
Yeah.
That's literally in the elevator. Yeah.
Nausicaa just looks at you and she's just like, she looks like she's gonna say something and she just doesn't. And she's like,
Let's go.
"What do you?" Yes, let's go. They don't appear to. I can't. Well, I've not experienced any yet, but we should leave.
I've not felt them near yet.
Speaking of which, as you take the elevator up, you will feel some alarming mind presences that are guarded. You can just feel some guarded mind presences stopping by down by the build. You know.
Okay.
Bottom,
You're down.
bottom
You're downstairs now.
as the elevator is going up and up and
Then
up.
we should go.
Going. Unless you can make the elevator go faster. And oh
No.
my god, that tune is annoying.
And then you will eventually get up to the roof. You can, if you are any of you going to see down the building to see if anything is going on, or just rush it for it.
Probably.
Actually, once we're
I
in the
have curiosity, so yes.
once we're in the helicopter, Nausicaa will use her like the roach she does to like throw her senses. She essentially like puts on glasses that have the needed formula around them, and also like on the bit that holds her ear, and she can essentially kind of like throw her perceptions, and she controls it by she has gloves on her hands that she essentially controls her like kind of perceptions almost like a drone.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. We will do that in a second, but first, before you get into the elevator, Ava is going to look down, and she's going to see two white, like very neutral vans that seems to be some kind of like pest control firm kind of thing, standing outside of the building area with the zone. And you can also see two drones flying up alongside the building, like just like very like helicopters slowly flying up kind of thing.
Okay, Alpha will get her wand out and will use some very hefty wind to whisk away the drones.
Which level of forces are we dealing with here?
I think that would just be forces 2.
Yes, I mean that, but I'm like they're quite a bit away from you down the building. They're not very close.
Yeah, I know.
You're at the top of the building, so I would recommend you adding correspondence to that to transfer the
I
wind.
can definitely add correspondence to that.
Yeah. Okay. Roll away.
This is my fourth effect that I have going on.
Yep. Which will now add 2. This will be 2 plus difficulties then in your to your casting, just so you know.
That was a fail.
Yeah. The second
We'll
casting.
point out the drones to Nausicaa, by the way, as well before she starts.
Nausicaa smiles
That
and
is
will raise her
two
wand as well.
successes.
Well, it's this is coincidental since it's wind at a very tall building. Anyway, yeah, that's your only roll because unless you're going to try and ritual cast this, which I doubt.
No.
Yeah.
2 successes.
2 successes. You send quite a bit of wind down, which sends them careening, but they don't crash.
God damn it.
Anyway, you might have to make a run for it now into the helicopter.
If it follows, if they follow us, we can deal with it, and yeah, we can scurry into the helicopter.
You scurry into the helicopter. The helicopter driver seems mildly weirded out by everything, but nothing too obviously strange has happened yet. Especially since Edie has remained silent and in his bag. Simon is just staring out through the window.
Nausicaa's going to say thank you, and she's going to give him a $200 tip.
Ooh, he's just going to nod. Where do you want to take us, man?
Nausicaa pauses for a moment. She hadn't thought that far ahead. The public helipad in the north is a city? Is there one? Can you take us to one, please?
I can see if there's anything nearby. Yeah, I'll have GPS.
How about we first just make a tour over the city? I'd like to see the skyscrapers from above.
Oh, okay. This.
By all means, he says, and it's your money. He whispers that, muffles under his breath, and then he will take off the helicopter. Playing girls, can you both roll me perception alertness now?
Mm-hmm.
As helicopter goes off. It's and if you want to do the roll for your perception throwing thing, you can also do that now.
No. If I saw the things, then I did. I didn't need to. I have 2 successes.
Yes.
I have 1 success.
Yes. You will both spot that the 2 drones are flying after you, and who got 2 successes? Was it Robin?
Yeah.
Yeah. You will notice that those drones looks scarier than implied. Like the 2 of them have like protrusions sticking out of them. They seem to expand it a bit as they're flying after you.
Nausicaa's gonna turn to Arva and say, "Momentarily distract the driver, please." And she's gonna we're pretty high up, but I guess she's gonna kind of like lean out the window.
Oh.
You can't lean out your whole view through the window. It's a helicopter.
No,
So
I think like her head and her arm. If she can see the drones, that's what she wants to do.
yeah, you can lean your arm out, but not much more because that gets dangerous as shit. So,
Yeah, dangerous.
Alpha will lean forward to the drivers, like, could you tell us something more about New York City? What are the buildings over there? She points like random direction in, like, I don't know.
give me a second. Could you roll me manipulation subterfuge?
May I spend
Nice.
willpower on this?
Yes.
Your best stat.
Yeah, I mean, I know why you asked me to do it, because I'm the better of the 2 of us in this.
Well, I'm asking because you were the one trying to mislead the driver.
But yeah, no, but literally, I know I have a dive more than Nausicaa has.
Very impressive.
That doesn't mean that I'm very good at this.
Well,
I got 2 successes.
you got 2 successes, and he's going to be like, "Oh yeah, okay, sure." He's going to start talking about the Empire State Building and stuff like that as you see it through the window. Anyway, as for you, Rob, you're going to aim out the window.
So Nausicaa is going to attempt a forces. I think I only need 2, as it's a kind of concentrated area, and it will essentially be an electromagnetic pulse.
Well, you will need the forces from somewhere. Which is the thing is like with forces too, you kind of have to manipulate existing energies.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, I would like to overload the electrical forces existing within the things themselves, so they just kind of like have an electrical surge. Is that possible?
That is possible, or at least to attempt at least. You don't know if they have countermeasures, which they might have, but you can try.
I will try. So yeah, essentially she's going to do that. So essentially in effect the like electrical things within the area will have like a surge. Like the electricity will be highlighted, hopefully like blowing out the systems in some way. So she's going to say it. So she won't. Yeah, because it's a kind of on the spot thing. She won't, but the difficulty should be 1 less because I'm using an instrument when I don't have to. Because I don't have to.
Yeah, but it also is fast casting, technically speaking, since we are getting into a slightly combat-like situation. I usually don't force fast casting unless it's like a stress element involved.
Yep. So diff, I think 6.
Yeah.
Okay, there we are. Not 60-10. So I have a single success with 1 roll. And can I try again on the second turn?
Well, you can try again on the second turn, yeah. But they're still too far away, so they're not going to do anything. But the 1 success seems to have not faced them at all. The 2 drones are rapidly closing in the distance. And you could say that they have like gun protrusions sticking out of them.
Oh, okay. Let's get serious. Okay, Nautica's going to point her wand at them, and I imagine, like, with the window open, it's incredibly loud, so she can probably speak magical words without the guy hearing too much, and she is going to blast them using forces.
Yeah. Do you remember you have to aim this?
Yep, I will do that.
Yeah. So due to the positioning, it might be a bit harder to aim, but yeah, you got mostly 7, so it's fine.
So I think I've hit, and I'm going to spend a willpower on this.
Yep.
The difficulty is... Oh, it's 6 because I'm also using a unique instrument.
Yep, go for it.
Bang. 2 successes, so that is...
Well, this is also a Volgar forces attack, I presume, because you're blasting something from a wand, but,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 2 successes because I have a willpower success and forces does an extra success for damage.
Yeah.
So I think that's only 2.
Well, I mean, it's like more that one success counts for 3 damage rather than 2. Like, you get what I mean? Like, it's not like it gives you an extra success for damage, but it increases your damage by 1 extra.
No, I think it literally gives you an extra success.
Well,
That's what I thought M20 says at least.
Well, I seem to have read the same thing, but I've said I might have interpreted it differently. And what it says, like it's for damage, it gives you an extra damage, like per damage success. So,
Okay.
but just let me double check that because I might be a complete moron, and it's better to be
I think
sure.
there's a higher chance that I'm the moron, but yeah, we can check because that's how I've been playing it so far.
Yeah.
Where are
Damage.
Damage and duration.
It's a magical damage chart, but it's finding that magical damage chart, which will always be.
So I think it's page 505.
543. Forces sphere attacks. Clicks on extra success of damage, which.
So yeah, basically, if you see like the damage thing, it counts as like you get to get an extra 1. That's how I've always thought it.
Yeah. So, but anyway, like most sphere attacks count like it's 2 damage per success anyway.
No, 1 doesn't do anything. 2 does 2, and then once you hit 3, it starts being double your successes. So I've only done 2. I've only done 2 lethal damage to it. It's weird, the magic chart. Like, yeah.
No, it's finding the chart that's the problem because it's
sorry,
spread
it's
out.
page 504.
504, okay. Because I was in 544.
Yeah, Forces Sphere adds 1 automatic success to damage.
Forces Sphere adds 1 automatic success to damage. Okay, fine. Then we know that. God, I hate this sometimes. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah, because that was my thing. It's not 1 like extra level of damage. It's 1 extra success on the damage roll.
Yeah, but this is a Forces Sphere attack, so it's 4 damage, isn't it?
No, because I only got 2 successes.
You only got 2 successes. Okay.
It's the kind of forces that I'm manipulating to be able to do this.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So you blast them. I'm going to have to roll now. And I was almost typing this in chat, not in the appropriate. Okay. They seem to have mostly persevered against the first Forces blast. Well, the first one has. Let's look about the second one. The other one seems to, it doesn't fall out of the sky, but the blast sends it flying, spinning back before it can correct itself. So it's going to essentially, in the very exciting air battle, it's sent back quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, so the driver is going to start trying to look over at Nosco to see what's going on because there's some just because.
Okay.
Talking about buildings gets boring in the over time.
Oh boy. Yeah, especially when you start hearing things. I'm gonna try, and this is gonna be very scary because if I botch this or if I do something wrong at this, we might just drop out of the air ourselves. But I'm gonna try and use my mind magic to keep him focused on the driving, on the flying, and kind of not notice what's going on around him.
Yeah, how do you do this? Because you have only 1 turn to do this, so to speak.
Yeah. I think she's just gonna ask him questions about like the panel that is in front of him and all that kind of stuff. And as she's asking these questions, occasionally let's like an Nokian word drop into the conversation to kind of create the spell that will focus him on his driving or his flying, I should say.
That's a very creative way to do it. Do you want to use Forces 2 or Forces 3 for the effect? Depends on
Mind.
I meant mind, sorry, not Forces.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna blast him.
Yeah, but anyway, it just depends on the strength of the pulse. Was my point. Like how much are you violating this poor sleeper's mind to make?
I would prefer to do it as least as possible, so I will go with 2.
Yeah, okay, just roll for it. Difficulty is 5.
1 success.
And he's gonna look away because. He's focusing on driving.
Ah,
Yeah. Anyway, you don't need to roll again. It's a very simple thing to make the helicopter driver stop caring about his passenger, just focusing on the flight.
yeah, and like focusing on like especially not the battle that's going on behind him, and now she
Well,
can
he doesn't.
actually go and help Nausicaa.
Well, the actual great thing about helicopters is the sound. He is not hearing that.
No, that's fair.
Anyway, Nausicaa, the other drone is getting closer. You can see it's preparing to start shooting on the, or whatever it's going to do on the helicopter. So you can try it again before it gets into position, so to speak.
Yeah, she's going to do the same thing, and yeah, if this helicopter gets hit by something, even like that's pretty much GG. So Nausicaa is going to spend a willpower on this, and she will roll to hit. Not on the roll to hit, obviously. Bloody hell! Well, I hit it.
Hit it. That's
I
supposed
have
to.
1, 9, 10, 8, 9, 8, 10, 9.
Jesus.
Yep.
I've never been sure if those
Nine.
attacks do overages or not.
No, they don't.
That's very
Yeah.
depressing.
I have 4 damage, 4 successes rather. So that is
First, I'm going to roll the boogie thing. Okay. And then I'm going to roll their very minuscule armor. The two of them, one of them gets, both of them get destroyed, but the one of them is just blown completely apart with kinetic force, while the other one seems to, it's a more elegant drone. It's going down like a proper ship or plane.
nice. That's cool. Yeah, it's got
I
some
think.
class to it.
It got some class as it's crashing down towards the city.
Nausicaa salutes it. No, she doesn't. Fuck that drone. But yeah, Nausicaa's now on 10 paradox.
You're now on 10 paradox.
That's the thing.
Well, the thing about being
boy.
on this level higher of time is that shedding it becomes a bitch.
I basically can't. Like over 5, you basically can't shed it. So yeah. Nausicaa is gonna kind of roll in the window, and she gives Ava a look like, kind of like, okay, we're done.
Good. Don't worry about it. She'll just kind of, to show Nausicaa, she'll ask the chauffeur, "Would you like a coffee?" And see if he gives any response.
He just grunts and continues on his with his flying. He seems very disinterested in all of you.
I've changed my mind. Let's go to Queens.
Okay. He's more grumpy flight man now. But anyway, he'll eventually set down in Queens. And from there, you can start moving towards the Bronx.
So yeah, we'll
Awful long journey.
So we're gonna take about like 3 different cabs, and Nausicaa's gonna do. I have an entropy route called Always Green, which means like she kind of like can travel through the city unhindered. Like traffic just happens to like not be that bad where she's going, or rather, or what she actually does, she's going to the place where traffic isn't bad. Can I roll that? And it also makes me like harder to track because she's moving kind of like chaotically.
Yeah, you can do that. You have only one ongoing effect, if I seem to recall. So
I don't have any ongoing effects anymore.
It's.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, the one. Yeah, so yeah, but that's fine. The way she does this is she basically she uses her raw data, raw data instrument, and essentially she is like she's just gathering all the data about traffic patterns, weather, traffic, like where maintenance work is being done in the city, and and then like works it out basically. So she'll essentially do it on like her kind of like BlackBerry or phone. Is that cool?
Yeah, go for it.
Yep. So I think research is the practice role. Would that make sense? Intelligence research?
Yeah, if it's database, like yeah.
So I'll make it. I think I don't only need like 3 successes for it, but I'll make it into a small right as like we kind of have the time. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So first one is 3 successes. So yeah, she'll do it pretty quickly.
Then Ava still has her thingy up. Like her mind technocratic scan, basically.
Yeah.
So
No
if there's
one, no one.
anything that she notices, like, oh, this feels like there's like, she will kind of tell Nausicaa to ask if they can like go another way.
Yeah, there's nothing like that coming up for you for now, at least.
Yay!
Yay! So you all get home eventually after having to bribe several taxi drivers to take the very almost body bag seeming like sleeping bag with some clearly stuff in it into it every time.
So art project.
And yeah, I guess we're going to take him into the chantry.
You can take him into the chantry and get him settled there, which it's going to be a bit of a challenge. But yeah, so that's at least that clears the alien portion of the schedule from the scene. I did promise in the start of the scene that this would also be an opportunity for people to do other things if they had such desires. I hear both of you had plans to track certain people down and such.
So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I can roll in scene and get the information if you want, but I'm not going to actually track anyone down. I don't think it's
No, I don't mean you physically track people. That's not Nausicaa's style.
No, what I mean
that's not necessarily Ava's style as well, but Ava's
No.
going to try and do something as
No.
well. So
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, because you can both.
so we can get him. We can get them settled in one of kind of the upstairs larger rooms.
Yeah, the room that Damien was originally going to use, but he never used.
Yeah, I guess we'll clear it with Lee, and yeah, and then Nausicaa is going to use the Oracle. So the Oracle will essentially it's essentially tuned into kind of like electrical radio transmissions, cell phone calls around the city. It's literally essentially a circle of screens, like the thing in X-Men, sort of, but like not as high tech.
Like Cerebrus.
Yeah, and essentially, like, she just uses it to
Cerebro.
transfer heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of data to her. So I use Forces 2 means I can access like literally like cell phone calls. Correspondence is like the search effect. And then I need to use Mind. So I have to use Mind 1 to be able to like split my attention and raise my mental faculty so that I can actually process that vast amount of data.
Yep.
So I want to do that. So I think I need 5 levels. I need 5 successes for the correspondence link because I've only met these guys briefly.
Yeah.
Or is it 4? Then I'll need at least 2 for the mind effect. So I think it's going to have to be a proper ritual.
Yeah. This is like correspondence sphere ranges. 4 is visitant once, which is like you're trying to find these people. 5 actually is more accurate because briefly touched or met object or person.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think 5. Now, one thing I will say is this is limited by essentially the practices being used. So if they're like off the grid, if they don't have any, if they're like just a person sitting in a room, it won't do anything. They have to have some way been involved in like the information that Nausicaa's using.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Having access to the grid is very great, but unfortunately, it comes with downsides.
So exactly. So for example, like Damien, your old character, Nausicaa probably couldn't use this method to track him.
Oh, she couldn't track him because he doesn't use anything that's past Bronze Age, essentially.
So yeah, the practice roll is I think research as well, actually. So yeah, I will make a go of it. So how many successes? I think we need 7. I'm adding the mind effects to it as well.
Yeah, you need 7 at least.
So first roll, I will lower the difficulty to. Oh, sorry, I'm using. I think I'm only using correspondence 2 for this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the difficulty is 5 because it's a coincidental effect. So yeah, the difficulty.
Yeah, a coincidental effect because you're in the chantry and you're in the middle of
So that's 3 from the first roll. 3 again. That's 2 from the second roll, so I'm on 5. This is my last roll before I need to start doing stamina. The difficulty for this is 4. I'm going to spend another willpower, so this is my third willpower this scene. Can I do this? I think
Yeah.
without arete rolls on this roll.
Yes, you
I
can do
need
it.
2. I have 2 extra successes.
Yes. So I think you now succeed.
Yep. I have like 9 successes, but that's
Yes. So it's going to take you quite a few. It's going to take you a little. I think this would take you 2 hours or so, at least.
It's taken me 3 hours because
Actually,
each
3
roll is an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I miscount. I didn't count the right amount of rolls. Sorry, 3 hours. I mean, 3 hours of you just deep diving onto your computer. You're searching up all data. Just the screens are just overflowing with information and illegally traced cell phones. Get just hooked onto that. Well, here's the bad. It seems that these people are mostly off grid because you get surprisingly little information. But what you do get is a few people texting about, oh, you're some big Viking dudes for you want to be recruited into a brotherhood of the true gods and become a powerful warrior and stuff like that. Like some people in the Bronx and Queens have been chatting about it online with their friends, and there's also been some phone calls between these candidates, who's 10 different people who seem to all be just young men, essentially young men who have been asked to join, and they've called a certain contact person who you've been able to trace to somewhere in Queens, who they've all been calling to ask about this, who based on the name of the call and the identity connected to the phone seems to be a person known as Bjorn, Bjorn.
Mm-hmm.
That Bjorn, and then Bjorn Gustafsson. That's his name. So he's very, very ethnic, and that's what you've been able to track.
Nausicaa will collect all this information, and
Yeah.
she'll remember it. But that's taken her hours, so I think we can jump to Ava if she's doing something.
Ava, what's your idea for the day?
Yes, I have also an idea for tracking these guys down, but going less technological about it, though.
Yes. Tell us all about your idea and how you're doing
Okay.
it.
What Ava's gonna do, first of all, she is gonna ask first of all if Simon wants to keep the mind link or not. Because if he wants to, she will keep it. And if he's like, nah, I'm good, then
he's good for now.
Okay. Then she'll just tell him that she'll be busy for a couple of hours, give him food, and put on
He's going
television.
to be numbing
That's
a
such a
lot.
good idea.
You're already using television to babysit the kids.
I've not given him a tablet with YouTube yet, so don't worry. What she's gonna do, she's gonna go down to the library, look up Nordic mythology, Nordic myths. Goes to try and find a prayer to Odin. And just starts to read through how Odin was worshipped, how if there are certain prayers, things, and based on the information that she gathers there, she will start writing her own prayer. Now she has I'm not quite sure if I ever bought Norse as a language.
Norse, Old Norse.
No, that's the one that I do not have. I do have. Oh, and I don't have Danish. I should buy those.
Danish is an evil language for deviants.
But I have Swedish and Finnish. Swedish, of course, being her own language. So she will write this in Swedish.
Yep.
And she's going to write a prayer that she's going to bring to I don't know, any kind of room really will do.
Hmm.
Um, and she will draw a circle, grab a map of New York, put it on the floor, grab a pendle, put on incense, and you know what? With a lot of like Nordic prayers and religion, there was blood sacrifices. So she will spill a little bit of her blood, her own blood, in the circle, um, also symbolizing the connection that she has to the well,
The long
Nordic
ship we
history and
played.
everything. Yeah, and she starts chanting this prayer that she wrote, which is basically just a poem, which I will
Yeah,
use as my practice role because I have poetry as an art.
yeah.
And is going to use the pendle to hover above the map and see where there is the strongest connection of minds to a prayer such as this.
Yeah, so essentially you're tracking down people who believe in this kind of prayer and
Yes.
this kind of faith. Okay, roll for it. You're going to need quite a bit of successes.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. This will also be a long ritual, so you guys will need to help me because I suck at this.
Yeah.
So what's your stamina?
Her stamina is 2.
Yeah, so on the
Yeah.
third
Oh
roll,
wait, I forgot to roll my practice. Lol. Yeah, on the third roll I have to make a stamina roll, right?
well, how many successes are you aiming for?
I have well,
She's got.
that's sort of the thing that I find difficult always to determine how many successes I need.
I would say that you would at least need 8 for this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
was thinking about going for 10, but
yeah,
yeah.
but because of the you're trying to describe through the entire. It's
It's a
this was
bit of
yeah.
yeah.
And that's what obviously was looking for someone specifically. Well, you like to
Mm,
the very brief connection. You are trying to find more. You're trying to find a specific concept, which yeah,
yeah.
which I think it's since it's Norse history and mythology and religion, I would say that's familiar to you because of your
Hmm.
heritage, but because it's quite a long way from you. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so that's why it's 8 successes combined. So
Yeah, so I have 2 on the first roll,
you have 2 on the
and
first
now I'm
roll.
going to be smart and actually roll my practice
Yeah,
because that will lower my difficulty. Um, what would that be? Would that be intelligence poetry?
yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you just roll it retroactively and apply it to the first roll? Because you can't really do rituals without doing practices.
Fair enough. If the SD agrees with that.
Yeah. You should be doing that before. So yeah, just
Mm.
retroactively.
Okay, well that's 4 successes.
Yeah. I mean, since it's a correspondence and it was roughly speaking a clinical role because of where you are and everything.
Yeah,
Difficulty with 5. That means that it's 3 successes with 4.
3 successes.
3
Yay!
successes on the
And
first
now
roll.
I roll practice again, right? Because you
Yeah,
roll practice for each. Okay.
yeah,
Successes.
So do
yeah.
3 again.
Yes,
And that is again 3 successes, so I'm on 6 now.
yeah,
So
And now
now,
I roll stamina, right?
yeah,
so now you roll stamina at the base difficulty of the ritual and modify, so difficulty 5.
Okay.
yeah,
I got a success.
Okay, you can make one more roll.
yeah. That's a great thing
Okay.
about this. So
Roll. That's a fail.
no, it's 1 success.
Mm.
No, what you
Was it
remember you have to no
5?
Praxis. Sorry, I misread. I thought you meant the
Oh,
RSD roll.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, I didn't suddenly start at Arte 5.
No,
Um,
sorry, I misread the amount of dice. It's that's a fail, and then you
yeah.
roll again. For you roll your that's still 2 successes.
Yeah, so
So
that is
8, 8.
8.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly 8.
I mean, I did say I go for 10, so I'm gonna give it one more try. Do I roll stamina now again, or
Okay, I'm just going to say, if you've got what you want, why
okay?
you
Yeah,
throwing?
you don't need
Okay,
more.
no, that's fine. Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah. So 8 successes. You are going to start hovering over. You're dowsing over the map. Your pendulum is swinging with the incense, it's almost like the incense is pushing it a bit. And eventually, as the pendulum will swing, it will hover quite a bit over Queens, and like nearby the river with the Bronx. Let me just get my map of New York so I don't screw this up. Sorry. Anyway, you are by like you swing it over to like the riverside of the like the by the edge of Queens. There seems to be quite a concentration of people who would believe in this. But it's almost like something is pushing the pendulum away as it's trying to swing over there. The point down on the like general area right at the edge of the river. And it's like it just swings back and then it just swings over. And it's like, and then it's almost like something is trying to push it away from the map, but still you hover in place. It seems to be in Queens.
So it's basically trying to. Can Ava kind of assume that it was that it's like shielded in some form?
That could be a very reasonable assumption to make. Okay. Anyway, but you can almost pinpoint it down to the address on the map. Almost, it's not that accurate of a map, but you get a good idea of where this would be.
That's good. She'll just put a circle around that area of the map.
Yeah. Excellent. So now you both have done after several hours of work, you've both been able to, get some information.
Get together and compare our informations, because I mean, Alva's actually kind of proud of herself. I think this is the first time that she actually done something helpful for the group. At least that's how she feels. So she's probably going to try and find Nausicaa.
Yep. So a very tired Ava is going to. Where would you find Nausicaa? Would you still be in her room with the computers that she loves so much?
She actually, she kind of loves the Oracle. Like, she loves sitting there using mind magic and just letting all the information of the city just wash over her. It's like this really addictive thing to her. So if she's here, she's probably just doing that. She's literally just like listening. Like, I always feel like the information like almost like blends in to like the heartbeat of the city or something. Like this cacophony that like becomes something like, I'm being kind of poetic, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's Mage as a game, it's very much about being poetic about these things.
Damn straight, yeah.
Yeah.
So through your poetry, there will be a knock on the door.
She kind of like annoyingly. She pretends she hasn't heard it.
Nausicaa?
She sighs and kind of like sits up, and she'll actually just press a button on the keypad that just kind of like shuts everything down, or rather just like slows the screen down so they're not like flickering as much. And she'll stand up and she'll just kind of move out of the Oracle and open it. Ava.
Hey, I found something.
Oh.
She'll hold the map.
What is it?
That's probably where they are. The Vikings. Well, that, or recently New York has started a new church of Odin worshippers. That could be a thing. But it did feel like something was pushing me away, so I couldn't really. But it's like somewhere along this area in these streets.
Nausicaa looks at the location, and you actually see that she kind of like begins comparing this to a load of information that she had. She'll look at Ava and be like, "How did you find this?"
I did a ritual. You're not the only one who can find stuff, you know. As her cheeks get a little red.
No, you're right. Well done. You did better than me.
I mean, I didn't better. Did you do something?
I've been looking for the last few hours. I have some names, some telephone addresses, etc., but I wasn't able to get a location.
I mean, that's good, right?
Well, if I didn't say it, you did find the location of the one spokesperson they've been calling.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but Is does that correspond to this location, or is it?
It's similar in the area to being in Queens, but not exactly where it's on the map. So
Nausicaa points to the house that's maybe like near the circle.
Yeah.
And one thing I actually think you know how like mathematicians analyze like terrorist cell networks to work out like which one is like the central one. I guess she's kind of done that, and she'll be like, the leader, or at least one of the leaders, or someone higher up lives here. That correlates to close by to your location. So this may be the area they're concentrating their efforts and infrastructure.
Yeah.
We're a good team, Ava.
I mean, you are good.
You are being overly modest. We are the same rank.
Yeah, but you're definitely a lot more effective than I am. It doesn't matter. Like, we're different, right? But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to let you know what I found. So did you just finish doing your thing?
Yeah. I just as you knocked. That's a lie. Nausicaa literally has a flaw that means she can't lie. So yeah, that's a lie.
Yeah, I know. Really? So would you come down and have a drink or something with me?
Yeah, sure. Okay. No, you see Nausicaa look back at the Oracle. She clearly just wants to sit there and just absorb the city. But yeah, she kind of knows she shouldn't. She's actually like had this talk before, and
Yes.
and she'll
And Alpha's face is showing it.
yeah, sure. Nausicaa looks like kind of slightly dejected, like a bit like a naughty kid, and she'll come downstairs.
Then that might be a good place to end.
Yeah, that was just about what we're going to say.
Okay.
We're going to end it on a friendly note. And you both accomplished things and ran away from the technocracy once again. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watcher, for watching. And we will see you some other time.